There's one thing that we also discussed with him. He said that he wanted to crush you. How did it feel, all the things that he said about you when you were, let's say, a few years after the band and he was getting bigger and bigger? Did it hurt every time, or was it easier for you to let it slip away?
Yeah, it was. After a while, you had to, because it wasn't just him; it was everyone else. You know, it wasn't so bad coming from Rob, because he was always. It hurt to start with, but then I could see his bit of torment in it as well, so I stopped taking it as serious. But it was the way he lit the paper for everyone else to join in. It was the worst bit, really.
How could you see he was tormented too? Did you see it in his eyes, or?
He was tormented too.
Yeah, I mean not too.
Yeah.
But because you were saying, well, I could see that he was hurt too.
No. What I was saying was, I could see that he was using it as a bit of a gag for every time he went on stage. What do I do now? How do I get a laugh? Oh, I'll talk about me. So I could see how he was using it. So I wasn't as offended as people thought I was. It didn't really keep me awake at night. And I stopped reading newspapers and things. So, like I say, the grudge really wasn't against Rob. It wasn't very nice to do it, but it didn't ruin my life for a while. It was the fact that he'd lit the paper for everyone else to join in, which was the hardest bit.
Everyone else, you said, is there one person in particular maybe that you say?
You.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't say anything bad about him.
No.
It was just, it was like the newspapers, and how England's a bad place for that. I think we've got the toughest press in the world.
Yeah.
So, and when they all turn left, the whole lot of them turn left, so.
What was it for you to see this thing happening between the two of them? Because you actually knew, and I think you were seeing Robbie still?
Yeah, on occasion. When the band first split up, I saw him a bit when I was making a record and stuff. I think it was a sadness. There was a sadness that came from everything, really. That was more the underlying feeling of everything was, God, it all meant nothing. Those 5 or 6 years meant nothing, and then so you have to tell yourself it meant nothing because it meant something to you, and then you realise it didn't mean anything. It was all bollocks. But then you actually realise later on that actually it did mean stuff. It's just people's way of protecting themselves.
When did you realise?
I'm still realising now. I've probably started to realise it meant more when we got back together. Because the problem was as well, there was a lot of separation. Everybody became very individual. So we were together, thinking we were all together, and then everybody in it all became very individual for everybody. So you have a join in, we're like 5 lab rats let loose, and it was like you either get through or you die. It was almost that kind of. Oh, that's how it can feel sometimes. And the more the separation became, then the more alone you started to become through a lot of it, and it started to have less meaning. And because for me, there were still like the most amazing years of my life in many ways, like the biggest surprise, and then for it not to be felt in that way by other people, you start believing actually it was nothing, and I mean, it's both true. It was nothing, but it was something as well. It was so incredible. It was an amazing opportunity for all of us, I believe. But now everything's just as it. I guess now, when we came back together and I spent time with the lads again, that's been great for us to have Rob back in and spend time. It's everything's been. You see that everything had to happen this way for us to come back here now, and that's the weirdest thing. and you go, God, this all had to happen because we wouldn't be here now doing this if it hadn't have done. And that's when things become very strange, when you see it from different perspectives and start to get other people's views on what was going on as well. You go, God, just never saw it. But then the truth of it all, then at the end of all that is, you know, then I start to go, maybe I put too much value on it, and maybe it meant, I mean, the lovely thing is we're doing an amazing thing. We're travelling around, we're in a great creative field. We're all getting to be creative and experience doing something together, be part of a team, you know, which is incredible to have that in your life, to be part of something. We're trying to make things like inventors, you know.